Hello there, YouTube. I'd like to talk a little bit about a game called Pipe V, or sometimes called Pipe V, or sometimes called Pipemania, which is also the name for Pipe Dream in, I think, Europe. So it is a bootleg of Pipe Dream, but they did also add some extra features that make it a very different game, but not a better game. Now, I've noticed that some people who play this on YouTube play for a little bit and then die. I think that's because there's really nothing that's self-evident about how this game is played. Even the actual manual that comes with the game, which I've seen, and there's actually two manuals. There's one from the Asian version of the cartridge, and there's also a Australian version of the cartridge, and I've seen the instructions for both, and they make very little sense. So in order to learn how to play the game, you actually have to play it, and it's not a great game, so nobody has. So I'd like to be able to submit the longest footage possible, as impossible for me to stand, to YouTube, so that there can be a better explanation of what this game actually is. Because it is a bit more than a Pipe Dream clone, but it's also less than that, if that makes any sense. So let's see. Okay. And again, the title screen calls itself Pipe V, even though it wants to call itself Pipemania in Australia. Wait, I didn't get those set right. Reset. And yeah, they actually bothered to put a crummy animation at the start of the game. And I think this is the only animation like this in the game. I don't know if anybody's actually bothered to beat it. And the person to do that is certainly not going to be me. Alright. So I want one player, normal mode, with Routine Lie as our soundtrack, because I like the tune. I'm guessing that's some kind of mistranslation error there. Routine Lie. So, like Pipe Dream, you set pipes and try to keep the stream, the flow going, I guess you could say. I don't know, I want to turn here instead. And hopefully this pipe down there, find a way to use that later, because you're actually penalized for laid pipes that the water doesn't go through. So notice that there's this animated little droplet fish. I think of it as a droplet because it doesn't seem like a fish, really. And unlike Pipe Dream, there's actually several layers to the field. So on this grid here, we can look at level 2, 3, and 1. So we're going for this pipe here, and that's going to pop out here on the 3rd floor. And notice there's those two other pipes that are already on the field, and we can choose to go through them and they'll pop out somewhere else. So if we take this top one, we can pop out here, which comes out here, which would go down there, pop out here. So, let's see. Notice that the droplet is caught up with me, which is not good. Because if you run out of room between you and the fish, you lose. And you also lose if you don't use up the whole distance. So that distance counter up there is a quota that you need to meet in the level. And I think Pipe Dream, excuse me, did that as well. It is a bit tedious trying to click through to find the exact pipe you need, because if you don't use that, you could get stuck. I think that's a little bit different than how Pipe Dream did it. Okay, so this is going to pop out here. And it looks like we don't have very many choices as to how we get back into that again. So in some ways, the longer your pipe is, the better. So putting in twists and turns to make it a more indirect route is fine. as long as you have the room for it so that you can get those points. Notice that my score up there is 80, and it's not really increasing all that much. And that's because for some reason, your score goes down if the fish is not moving fast enough. Like, I can hold one of the buttons here to speed it up. Like, as soon as I get this pipe blade, I'll demonstrate. So if I hold down the button, it goes faster, my score gets better. But it also means I have less space between me and the drop. But because my score is constantly counting down, it leads to this bizarre scenario where you can actually make it further in the game, make it many more rounds, and yet have a lower score than if you had committed suicide earlier in the game. Like, if you had a higher score and you just gave up and quit out the game, let yourself lose on purpose, you would actually have a higher score than if you made it all the way to, say, like, round 22 or something like that. And that's really discouraging. Like, I see what they're trying to do about, like, awarding points, but, like, taking away points? That's very unfair, in my opinion, and it's kind of, like, antithetical to how a video game works, because you don't feel rewarded, it's just tedious. And you can actually get a better score, which is supposed to be the indicator of how well you've done. You can actually get a better score by playing worse. And that's just baffling. Why would you do it that way? I mean, I'm pretty sure the game does not have any kind of battery backup, so it wouldn't be able to remember it if you played well or not. But, you know, Tetris is the same way. Okay, so we've come here. We're gonna pop out here. And as you can see, there's no more connectable pipes that I can go to. Like one that goes to another floor. And that's going to cause me to pretty much lose. But I can make some pipe points in the meantime. And so pretty much you just play until you can't anymore. Which again is not all that rewarding considering that you can make less points for surviving longer. And also, where did I go with this? Well, you see, know what I mean. You see what I mean. So I can hold down the button to actually get some points here as the drop goes through, and I'll try to make this a bit longer. But also when we get to the end, yeah, if we get to the end of this level, it'll just seem like we lost, like there's no success. Like, you know when you get to the end of a Mario game, and it's like, yay, you won, and there's like sometimes fireworks and a flag, and it's like, wow, you won. And we move on to the next level. Here, you just succeed until you fail. And that's how you progress in the game. So now I've run out of space, and the game is going to move me on to the next round, and I made the distance. I made the distance quota, so I do get to move on to the next round. But it just doesn't feel satisfying because it's kind of felt like you lost, didn't it? Like, you know how in video games they give like satisfying sounds to things, like satisfying sound that it makes when you connect while trying to hit something. So you'd made a hit that did damage, so there's a satisfying sound to let you know that your hit worked. And then there's an unsatisfying, like, tink sound when you are fighting an enemy and your attack did nothing and didn't connect, so that that communicates to the player that what you're doing is working or not working. But here, the condition that moves you on to the next round feels like losing, because it's the same thing that happens when you lose the round. So it's little touches like that that make good games feel good, where it's more than just the programming and the concept, where there's a bit more to it to connect with the player. I want to make this a little longer. Okay. So now we have the fish on screen, that blue fish guy, which could be a fish or a shark. The documentation I found about the game doesn't even explain what that thing is or what it does. But what it does is that it kind of bounces around like a kicks, if you remember that game. And you can block it in accidentally, and it'll prevent you from being able to lay more pipes, which is bad. So this will come out here, or we can go over there, and that'll pop out here. Okay. So we don't want that fish coming near any of our work, but we can also lay down pipe preemptively like this, and that'll prevent it from getting in the way. At least so far it seems to me that that does help. So this pops out here, and we're gonna go over there. So we need to lay down 22 pipes. So just to make sure, I'm gonna try to make this a bit bigger, if it'll let me get the right pipe to do so. There it is. Can I have an up pipe? Notice that my score is still stuck at 80, even though I've been progressing pretty well, so I'll move the drop up a bit. But that makes me wonder, well, in hard mode, the fish moves faster anyway. Which has me asking, well, what's the point of the normal mode, then? If you're only able to make points when you decide that it's time to be able to make points, right? By holding down the button. But it feels to me like it would be more satisfying to at least give us something, like 5 points for a slow pipe point. But instead, it's really discouraging to play this game for like literally an hour, and you just feel like you have nothing from it. But in this session, I just guess I'll keep playing until I feel like I don't want to anymore. And that's another sad thing, like, you can pretty much keep playing until you make one mistake that messes you up, which is to crash out, or stop the flow, I should say, with your distance not being met yet. Like, that's how you lose the game. But it's an instant game over when it happens. So as long as you continue to make no errors, you can just keep going and going. And yet, your score will be no better than it was when you started, unless you're moving at the fastest pace you can. Now let's just go with that. So we'll hold down the button and finally be able to collect points for the first time in the entire round. So basically you can't really get any points until you get right to the end, and then hold down the button and finally you can do something. Right, so there's our S pipe. And some of you who have played Pipe Dream may recall that you also start from an S pipe, because this is indeed a bootleg, even if it is a bit different. Come on. Let me turn. Thank you. Alright, so we can come out here and go there. Come out there. Well, I'll go for the bottom so that I don't accidentally cut myself off later. Which is the point of these cross pipes. So you notice that the drop, after it goes off over the cross pipe, it leaves behind another pipe in the other direction that I can use. So that's a way to be able to keep a pipe accessible so that you don't block yourself out from being able to reach it. Because as you may have noticed by now, these blue spots that the fish drop goes over cannot be interacted with again. So that pipe is your only chance. But when you get to the end of the round, any pipes that you didn't use are counted against you. So in that sense, cross pipes are also a liability. And most of the time they are. Give me the pipe I need. Oh my gosh, I'm almost dead. Give me the pipe I need. Give it. Thank you. So, now here. The fish makes me nervous. It doesn't do much, but when it does, it's incredibly annoying. Oh gosh. There. So I was able to defeat him again by just pre-blocking him. Shoot. It's really easy to miss the pipe you need while hammering the button to find them. Just gotta be patient. Because that's what kids are known for, is being patient. This is one of those games that you would think could be a good AVGN game to cover, but there just isn't enough meat to be able to do so. Okay. Looks like we can continue to keep going. Except that there's nowhere to go on this side. Okay, I guess I'll take this one. 19 pipes to use. At this point, I'll just take anything that connects just about. Okay. Yeah, I'm aware that there's a lot of background noise in my house right now, but I'm not a professional YouTuber of any kind. I just want to get some video of this game on YouTube, because currently there really aren't very many long plays of this game, as in something longer than 10 to 14 minutes or so. Okay. This is gonna come out here. Oops. Alright. So if I want to, I can attempt to use that pipe again, but there's nothing to connect it to, so I guess we'll just go this direction then. Yeah, straight. Thank you. Okay. So neither of these options actually leads anywhere. They're both dead ends. So I guess I'll go to the next page, or the next floor, I should say. And just make as much pipe as I can. And notice that my score's back down to 80 again. Because, you know, how dare I just sit here and play the game. I've got to be punished. Punished for being here. See? He sticks in your way to punish you. This whole game is punishment. Come on. Alright. That was my mistake. Waited too long. Get out my way, fishy. That's about as much as I care to do. Holding down the button. And we'll just watch the fish. Watch the fish go through the pipes. and my score's gone up, which means that if I were to purposefully lose the next round, I would have a bunch of points when I finish. But the more I play, the less score I get. Okay, so this is like reverse Tetris because you're sending pipes upwards. But this is the only place, I think, where you can actually rotate the pipe by pressing A and B together. And you know, that's such a reliable move, isn't it? Pressing A and B together always works when you need it to, doesn't it? Been lucky so far. Why can't I move right? What is going on? Yeah, I can't move to the right. And sometimes you can, but for some reason I can't. So I might as well hold down the button, grab some points, because there's nothing I can do. Okay, so that bonus game worked pretty well, but as you'll soon notice, if I don't push the fish along by itself, then... Oh, come on. There we go. Yes. So the fish is stuck in that 4-square area, which would mean that if I needed to put some pipes there, I would not be able to. Although he can warp through the other side of the screen, which I can't do. There we go. So this pipe the drop is coming towards is I think a reservoir pipe, and it stops the drop from moving for a little bit, gives you a little time. I need a bend, thank you. So let's take this hole here since it's close. I kind of want a straight one, but might as well. Good. There. Good. So I'll move the fish a bit. Already under 1,000. So this one will spit out this way. Not many options. And the bonus round happens, I think, every 3 rounds. So I think I'd like to play one more of those, and then maybe I'll give up. That's round 6. And in terms of tedium, it's further away than you'd think. Okay. Although this is not a good game, I will say that compared to the average bootleg quality, this is above average for a bootleg. It is not above average for a game overall. Like, this is more effort than I would expect the bootleg to be able to do. But I wonder if the changes are changes they made because of limitations, or because they actually wanted to make it a bit different. I should mention, too, that the original Pipe Dream, which was made, published by LucasArts, but made by, I think, a company called the Assembly Line. The original Pipe Dream is on just about every 80s device you can think of. So it's on all the British mini computers, or microcomputers, I should say. It's on Game Boy, it's on Super NES, it's on the NES. Oh, look. Oh, no. Yeah, I've gone and blocked myself in. Because now there's nowhere to go but a wall. Well, fortunately, my distance is used up, so I'll just speed the fish through, or drop through, and we'll end it. Yeah, so now we're at round 5. So those come out here and here, and I could come out there. Well, I guess I'll go for this closest one so I don't lock myself out. But notice that the ability for me to look ahead and strategize is both a requirement of the game, but I also kind of get penalized for it, because that's time you could be using to push the fish along and get points. Which I'm doing at the moment. Okay. So this comes out here. I wonder, okay, which one should I go for? That one? Or that one? Again, I don't really want to cut myself off. So I guess I'll just go for this close one, which would come here. Yeah, right here. And that will give me the opportunity to use this pipe down here. I guess that's what I'll do. Notice that my score is depleting rapidly as ever. And both hard mode and normal mode do this. And practice mode doesn't even count your points at all, which it feels quite pointless. So now we're on the pipe. Let's move it on. This comes out this way. Then I'll crash out if I just keep going. Then there's that other one, which actually does connect to something. So good. So we want to avoid that pipe. Go for this other one. So there's this strategery element in the game that is not really present in Pipe Dream, if I recall. Like, there are warps on the side of the screen, sort of like in Pac-Man, where you can send the poop tubes out and they come out another direction. But this game had the idea to actually make it an up and down direction. Jerk fish. Now you can't stop me, fish. not entirely sure if these pipes actually are movable or if they are random, but I think they're not fully random. And I also theorized that the fish, the drop, like as it goes through the pipe and awards you points for it, I think it adds those pipes back to your inventory. So if you're looking for a certain elbow type pipe and you don't have one, you just have to wait for the fish to travel over it and hopefully you'll have access to it again. But again, I don't think any of this is explained in the manuals for this game, which I believe are poorly translated, but that's just what it looks like to me. So these are all just game theories I have. Like, part of the challenge of this game for me was learning how to bloody play it. Because I had to discover it all for myself. And I'm passing on my knowledge to you so that you too can play Pipe V. Or bootleg Pipemania. Which is, I gotta tell you, not entirely worth your time. Or really not worth your time at all. Unless you are like crazy about pipe games. And you've already played every version of Pipemania there is. Well, maybe you would want to check out this game. But there are a million pipe and water puzzles on mobile now. So it's not really worth it. Okay, I'm giving up. So now we can send our drop through and grab as many points as possible. There. And just because I am how I am, I want to grab that reservoir on the way through. You gonna let me? Oh. I guess I don't have time. Oh, okay. I really don't want to have to go through in front of that spigot because that's going to shut it off. Might as well block it. And of course, pausing blanks out the whole screen, as it should in a puzzle game like this. Whew. Okay. Nice. I could be outside learning a new sport. I could be doing chores. I could be cleaning my basement. I could be cleaning my tub. But instead, I decided to sit down and play Pipemania. Because I guess the awful truth is that I kinda like this game. And I have no problem saying, I'm probably one of the best players of this game on the planet of Earth. And that's not a brag, because the fact that I've learned how to play this game is shameful. And I wouldn't have done it unless I had to review it for a book I'm working on. It's not my book, it's somebody else's book, but I'm writing it. I mean, writing a review. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been motivated to do it. And that's probably why I might be the only person who understands how this game works or bother to actually learn this game. Because honestly, why would you? Why would you, unless you had some reason to do it? I sure hope you weren't expecting professional commentary on this video. Because honestly, it's bootleg Pipemania. I don't have much to say. How long has this been going on? Yeah, actually, I don't know how long we've been recording this. But for whatever reason, excuse me, for whatever length of time it's been, it just isn't enough for 180 points. I'm on round 6, I've been playing for what feels like over half an hour. That must be it. And I have 960 points. Back in the bonus round. We should probably go this way. And notice that in order to lay pipe in a certain area, you have to waste a bunch of pipes below it, or excuse me, above it, in another space. Oh, I can hold the direction and it goes quicker? Wow, okay. I'm a fool. I guess I didn't know I could do that. Well, might as well leave it this way because get some points. And that's good as it gets. Now, round 7. And this here, I think, is a points pipe. It looks a bit like a reservoir, but it's not. Now that much, at least, is explained in the instruction manual for this game that the publishers made. And there's more than one release of this game, so there's more than one manual. And yet, reading both of them still doesn't fully explain the game. Like, neither one bothers to actually, I don't think anyway, neither of those actually bothers to actually explain what the fish monster is. Like, this thing? What is this? Neither one explains what this is or what it does. Alright, so I just finished the game, didn't make my distance quota. Didn't make high score, and I made it all the way to round 6. I think there might be like 40 rounds. I can't imagine that. So let's try this again. One player. Well, let's go with hard mode. Have routine lie again. In hard mode, the fish drop thing moves quicker. By itself. I mean, even when you don't turn it, even when you don't make it move faster on your own, it just generally moves faster. Okay, so that comes out here, that one comes out here. Alright, we'll go this direction, I say. Shoot. Oh gosh. Come on. No. Okay. As you might guess, you'll fumble this more often when you're under pressure. Okay, so you need to go this way. Easy decision because it's the only up or down pipe available. Notice they still don't. They still do the point subtraction thing, even though the fish is going quicker. They're still vampiring our points away. Right. I'll let it move a bit, and this pops out here. And there actually is a pipe to go to, so guess we'll keep going. Kind of want to turn up. Alright, might as well. Come on. Up. Good. Okay. Come on, come on, come on! Alright. Okay, so this comes out this side, and I think we've run out of holes to go into. Let's go! Okay, fine. Pops out here. Ah! No! No! Come on! Oh, I have to abandon it. Yes. Come on, do it. Oh. Alright, so I might as well just do it for distance. Oh, no. Okay, so this is harder. For real. Alright, so that's a game over. Died on round 2. Well, I think I can do better. So let's go with profession mode, normal, and different song. So professional mode gives you an extra set of pipes to work with. Does it make the game better in any way? Not really. At least it doesn't feel that way to me. I changed my mind. Didn't work out. Let's go with normal. No. Professional, normal, and routine lie. Routine lie is good luck. To lay down pipes from your second reserve of pipes, you have to press A and B together, which is always an awkward move. I mean, there's two buttons on the controller. I'm not sure why they couldn't just make speeding up the drop a different button, or just remove the requirement to do so in the first place, because like I keep saying, it doesn't work very well with the scoring system. There we go. So that's going to cut off that stream there, but that's the way it's set up. So this will come out here. See if we can get some distance down here. And that loses. Is there 25? 24? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. No, we gotta lengthen that a bit. Or a lot, I should say. Much better. Let's see if it's enough. Oh no, I don't think it will be. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Missed it by 2 pipes. 2 pipes, I should say. Oh, 1 pipe. Ooh. And yet, look at this. I made high score. I lost faster and made high score. This is the fundamental flaw of this game, right here. I finally get to write my name on the high score table, and I did worse. Lost quicker. Lost on the first level, and still could not do, and still made it. Better than when I went further all the way to round 7 or 6. Where I still had like 200 points. What a joke. Like, do you see how demotivating that is? It's like you're rewarded for failure in this game. And that's just totally antithetical to how a puzzle game should work, or a video game should work. So that's about as much Pipe V, Pipe V, Pipemania that I'm willing to play today. But I thought I would give it a little bit more attention than most of YouTube has. Not because of any failings on the parts of other people. But if I'm just wanting to explain this game a bit more, so that people who have questions about this game can maybe find some more information about it, and actually see some footage. I am writing a review in a book for this game as well. But when I was doing research for it, I couldn't find any in-depth videos about it. Because why would there be any in-depth videos about it? Well, I've had enough of this. And you're probably not going to hear many commentary videos from me. But in this case, I felt like I had to do it because nobody else would. Have yourselves a stupendous day.